Hello and welcome to the Kitchen Knitter podcast. My name is Suzanne and this is my little space on the internet where I share with you what I've been knitting and sometimes sewing. I have been sewing, but I'm just going to show knitting this evening. It is evening, it is something like 5:15. I've stopped the clock, so I don't know the exact time. Dinner is on the Arga there. They've roasted a chicken ready for I'm going to make a risotto. And yes, it's Monday the 22nd of April. Yes, 22nd of April. So it's been a while and I didn't intend it to be this long after the overwhelming response to my last podcast. That was just wonderful, and thank you again. But Easter got in the way. Family came and stayed. My daughter and her family came and stayed for nearly a week, and then my son and his family stopped over en route to Yorkshire. So it was not much knitting was done. So I'll show you what I've been focusing on. So you'd be sick of this one. My Jakers sweater I have finished a sleeve. I think I said in my last podcast I wouldn't show this until it was actually finished, but I'm actually quite proud of actually finishing the sleeve because it went on and on, but you come to a really nice pattern at the end. It's quite a loose cuff, but that's a really nice pattern. And I've started the second sleeve. So that's it looks awfully wide. I'm hoping it might tighten up a little bit, although I am wide, and there you see I've been doing the sleeves on 9-inch circulars, 3.5, the Chaigu needles, and it's a bit of a faff because you're knitting the round, so everything's sort of getting twisted. So every now and again you've got to let it unwind itself. But apart from that, it's fine. It's fine. Oh, I can smell that chicken. It's making me hungry now. Right. So that's the Jakers, and I'm wondering actually if I have made this too short. I don't know. I'm going to have to try it on and see. I wanted it to sit sort of, this is an Ellis dress, so I want it to sort of sit round about where my waist should be, and I'm not sure I've made this long enough. I'm not very good at trying things on. I'm always disappointed, so we'll see. So that's the progress on the Jakers, and I think I'm going to get a sleeve out of this ball, which means I've got 2 left, and I think it'll make a lovely wrap. This is my attempt at scaling it up again. I was going to cake up 2 skeins and then decided not to, but that's the yarn I'm using, and it's called light grey, 50% Shetland, 50% Romney, and it's gorgeous. It's lovely and soft. It's not the least bit toothy. It's lovely, and that's from Wool & Twine's Fibre Studio in Germany. So I've been knitting on this for a while. I stopped knitting it when it got quite warm and it wasn't that pleasant to be knitting, and then I picked it up again, and it's just taken me forever, and I think I'm getting a little bit fed up with the sight of it now. So, and if I don't crack on with it, I'm not going to be able to wear it. Although the weather today we had a beautiful day yesterday. In fact, there were people sitting in their gardens. It was lovely, and I did some gardening. The sun was really nice and warm. Today it has drizzled and rained, and it is overcast. It's awful. I can't believe the difference today than yesterday. It did say it was going to rain today, so the forecast was true, but I just couldn't believe how lovely it was yesterday, and then we wake up to pouring rain. I don't know. So that was the weather report. So the other thing, I'm really enjoying knitting this, and it is my Cranachan shawl by Liz Cork. And this is all just garter stitch, and you've just got the pattern at the bottom. But I'm using a yarn from Lay Family Yarn called Hercule Durkle, and it's the most gorgeous pink. It needs no introduction, this yarn. It was I'm not sure if this was hand dyed by Gaynor, Tales from Cuckoo Land, but this was her recipe, and Kelly and Nick have they've dyed. I think Nick is the dye. They've done hundreds and hundreds, and actually I bought some more. I bought another 2 of these and a mohair, the floof. I want to knit a pair of socks in this, and I want to knit the petite knit pattern. I think it's called the penny gloves. They're a mitten with a thumb, and I'd like to, not that I want a matching set, but I just want something else in this gorgeous yarn. It's the most gorgeous pink and speckled to perfection. So that's the pattern going up the side. It's curling back in on itself, if you can you see. And then this side is a neat edge over 3 stitches. It's a paid for pattern, so I can't go into too much detail, but it's a lovely, I've knitted some mittens. I think they were called the Dealer's mittens from Liz Cork. Her patterns are really good. So that's the my Hercule Durkle shawl. Well, it's not, it's the Cranachan shawl in Lay Family Yarn's Hercule Durkle. It's gorgeous. It's a 2 skein shawl. I'm knitting the medium size, so that takes 2 skeins. And I've got the proof needed. I've got to this one. This one is, I did this on my old Swift, and it's falling apart. So I'm going to have to carefully rewind that. I'm not going to get it out because I can see it's all coming off, but I bought a new Swift and wool winder, in a wooden one, a flat wool winder, and it's an umbrella Swift, but it only goes up so far, and it's not it's in Beechwood, I think. I'm really pleased with it. It does the job. I was just impatient to get going on this. So that's the progress on the Hercule Durkle. The other thing I've been focusing on is my Stockholm slipover, and in the last episode I think I showed you, it's all bits of yarn, this one. There we go. So I had made a stitch, or I'm not sure what I did, but I unpicked it down to where the mistake was, and then I just ended up with this great big ladder. And I did think I might get away with mattress stitching it or just ripping it back. And the consensus of opinion on the comics was rip it back, which is what I did. And I'm now at the point where I've started shaping. You go back onto the, this is not an easy way of showing you. So you knit it top down, and then this is the bottom bit. I've got these on the needles. They say to leave them on the needles, the patterns, and then go back and cast on stitches there, and then you start shaping the shoulder. So there's sort of like an increase going on there. I can't say too much, it's a paid for pattern, but it's really nice. When I read the pattern, I thought, oh gosh, this is too constructed for me. It's too fussy, but it's not. It's not. It makes sense actually, and I just need to, you know, just get on with it. So that's for anyone who is unaware of. There we go. And I'm using. I won't try and pick up the yarn and this is John Arbon's Exmoor sock. Oh, I'm showing you upside down. Exmoor sock in the colourway Builder in Clouds, and it's a gorgeous charcoaly grey. And then I'm holding it with this soft, is it soft grey? No, medium grey from Biche and Bouche. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but it's made in Italy, but I think it's made in Italy. I thought there was something about made in England on it, but anyway, I'm making that up. So holding that double, and it gives a really nice mould effect. I'm quite pleased with it, because I'm not usually pleased with my choices if I start making my own decisions, but I quite like that. So I bought this yarn from our new local yarn store, wool shop, Tangled Yarn. Oh, it's a beautiful shop. It's a beautiful shop. And not last Friday, a couple of weeks ago, myself and my colleagues, we went on a hen do. Now, I don't usually go on hen do's. I didn't have one myself, but this was different. This was a colleague who's getting married. In fact, she's getting married on Friday, and this was her work colleagues hen do, and we went to Tangled Yarn and we did a crochet workshop, a learn to crochet workshop. I'm not very good at crochet. I'm not, I find it fiddly, and I don't know, I don't know what it is. I have a bit of a mental block with crochet. But anyway, I tried, and I just could not get past the chain. And it was a lovely workshop. It was taken, did you say taken by? Emma Varnum, who has written quite a few crochet books, mainly knitting flowers and the succulent plants and things. So we were knitting a cactus. Now I've not brought it down, I've forgotten, but I haven't finished mine because I've run out of stuffing, and I've forgotten to buy some. So I need to stuff mine, but I knitted mine. I caved in, and I wasn't the only one. There was another colleague decided that she wanted to knit hers too. And yeah, it was just such a lovely evening. We were able to, we took some fizz and some, well, I don't like Prosecco, so I took some white wine, and it was just, and so we had some little snacks, and it was absolutely lovely. But we were really concentrating. There's some of the photographs that came up. I haven't got any photographs, but I think Tangled Yarn have put some up on their Facebook page, and we are really concentrating. But the hen had a wonderful time. I haven't got permission to mention any names, but she had a lovely time. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And then we were there from 6 o'clock till 8 o'clock, and then we went back into the village, and we went for a meal, which was lovely. And we had a meal. We had some wine, and I was home for 10:30. Lovely. It was a really lovely evening. And yeah, I think it came up on Tangled Yarn stories as well, but I don't know whether they disappear or they're in their highlights or what. I don't know, but it was a lovely evening. And having an open day on Saturday. They don't open at the weekends normally, but they're having an open day on Saturday. And I was going to go, but my daughter is coming up to meet up with some friends and has asked us to look after Rose. Now I think she's going to be coming sort of for lunchtime, so I don't know whether I'll get there in the morning or not. I don't know. But anyway, that's me waffling on. But it was a lovely hen do. You know, a bit different as well. Really nice. So that's the Stockholm slipover. Progress on. I'm gonna have to get a bigger bag, I think, for this. I don't think I've bought enough wool for this. I think I'm definitely going to have to go back because I bought this in Tangled Yarn. So I think I'm going to have to go back and get some more. Oh, that'll be hard. The other thing that I've not been focusing on because I've fallen out with, because I don't like what I've done, are these socks. I don't know what it is. I mean, I've got as far as doing the heel on this. I've been knitting them, what do you call it, in tandem, and I don't know. I think I said it's a sock set. So you from Woolly Mammoth, and it's gorgeous. The yarn, absolutely gorgeous. It's called Grandad's Woolly Sock Set. So you get, that's the main colour, and then you get that one. And you get that one. Now I think I should have started with this one, but I started with that one, and I think it just looks a bit dull, and I think they're too big as well. I was thinking of giving them to my husband, but I mean he's never asked me to knit him anything. Well, no, I decided to knit him a jumper, and he just complained about the sleeves not being long enough, and it wasn't long enough in the body. But anyway, I felt like I was knitting a blanket, but. Yeah, I don't know. I might start again with these. I've just left them. Again, I'm knitting on 9-inch circulars Chaigu, and I go onto a DPN to do I follow the Winnick Mum pattern, which I think is a free pattern on Ravelry. But it's I don't know, and they're too tubular. I don't know what I've done, but I think they're too tubular. I don't know what, just look a bit. So I've got those, but what I think I'll do is I'll start again, and I will knit a pattern rather than try and do it myself. And I was saying I was knitting it to the Winnick Mums, but I've never done 72 stitches, so, but I don't know. I'll try and knit, and maybe knit, put a pattern in there rather than just be. Well, it was 3 by 2 rib. I think that's what I'm doing. Yes, 3 by 1 rib. 3 by 1 rib. Maybe that's too big. Maybe I should have done 2 by. Oh, that's the cuff, isn't it? 2 by 2. Anyway, whatever I've done is not. It doesn't look right. So I'm thinking I might start again with those, because the wool is lovely. It's absolutely gorgeous, and I don't want to waste it. So I've not bothered with those. I just keep thinking about what else I can do with it, really. But I get like that. I start something, and then and a lot of it is because I take too long to knit it, and I just get fed up with it. Right, so that's in abeyance. So the other thing is, when you've not finished anything, you cast other things on. And I thought, well, I just want a plain sock that I can take up to my knitting group. So I started to knit. Again, it's the Winnick Mum basic sock pattern, and I've cast on 62 stitches, and I'm only knitting. I'm knitting them one sock, and then I'll knit the other sock. But again, I've gone onto a DPN to do the heel, which is just a slip stitch heel, and I've got the rest of the stitches on a 9-inch circular, and I'm knitting these on 2.25. Yeah, 2.25. I was knitting, that's a point. I was knitting those other socks on 2.5, and maybe that was why they look a bit big. So I'm a bit they're shapeless. That's the, and you see with this one, I've used 2.25, and I've got a bit of a, you know, the cuffs looks tighter than the knitting. Anyway, this is a yarn by Sherry Iris, which I've had for a while, and I can't remember what it's called. I think it's Meadowgrass, but I don't know. I've lost the ball band, and I caked it up a while ago, so I don't know. But it is the most gorgeous sort of creams and greens. It's lovely, and it's not self-striping, but the way it's knitting, it's coming out in almost like string. That looks awful, that needle poking out through there. There we go. There. It's really, really lovely. A lovely knit. Done there. A lovely knit. Lovely wool. And lovely colours. So I've been having a go at that. Just at my knitting group, or I did a bit watching Monty. I only did a bit watching Monty the other night because I was concentrating on what he was saying. And the other thing I started was another sock set from Woolly Mammoth. Now, I caked these up, and then the ball bands all got mixed up. So I've got, I think, I'm knitting this one. I have literally only just started it. And I'm knitting to a pattern. Oh, well, it's a very dark picture. I doubt very much you're going to see it. Can you see? Oh, got Alexa joining in. It's by... No, I'm not even going to attempt to say that. But they are the gift socks by I don't know. I bet that's not, it's not Albione, is it? But anyway, that's the pattern. It's a very dark picture, but they're lovely. I don't know what yarn. Don't think she mentions the yarn she's used. Just says suitable for fingering weight yarns. Anyway, I bought these 2 sock sets from Woolly Mammoth, but I don't know which is which. One is called Tankard, and it's 50% Cheviot, 50% BFL. So I think that is my Tankard sock set, and it's coming out a lot lighter here than it is. It's a sort of a mid-grey. It's lovely, but it's more like a browny grey. It's really nice, and so that's what I'm knitting those socks in. But I also am going to knit this sock set, and I think this is natural and mustard green in these are the Hearth sock, which is 50% Jacob, 50% Blueface Leicester, and the colourway, and you get 120 grams. So that's coming out a little bit truer to its colour. So I'm going to see how these socks go, and I intend to knit another pair like that. They're very similar to what I was trying to achieve with the other ones. You've got that pattern there. So I'll have a go with those. And I think that's it. So that's what I've been knitting since last time I podcast. And I think I said this last time. I hope to be wearing it like next time, which the Jakers, because I've got plans to knit another Isabel Kramer one jumper called, well, a Tresse. It's Tressa. I should have brought the pattern down. And another one called is it My Favourite Knitter? It's a cable, and you use either Gepard, I think I'm pronouncing that right, a Danish yarn, or you use knitting for Olive. So I've got to get these out the way first because I want to get on with those. And next time I'll show you some sewing. I spent this afternoon cutting out another Luna lapin and started sewing that up. That's as a raffle prize for a colleague who's going to do the Time for a Cuppa in aid of it's for Alzheimer's UK. So I've got that to do. When I made a dress for the wedding on Friday, I think I put it up on Instagram. I haven't brought it down. I made a Hattie dress, but I made it in a Liberty Tana lawn, which I wasn't sure was going to work because I've only ever made those dresses in linen. But I think it has. I think it has worked. Trouble is, I've got nothing to go with it. Anyway, well, I'll find something, no doubt. And then I made a camber, a Merchant and Mills camber dress out of some really lovely green linen, and it's a bit tight, a bit snug. So anyway, I haven't hemmed it. It's all done, but just needs hemming. And because it doesn't fit, I'm in no rush to hem it. So it's the story of my life. Anyway, right, I'm going to go now, and I'm going to make a risotto. I might have a cheeky glass of wine while this is exporting and whatever it does. And hopefully I'll come back, excuse me, I'll come back in a couple of weeks with some properly finished items. We'll see. I've got, like I said, we're looking after our little granddaughter on Saturday night. She's having a sleepover. Ted, her brother, is staying with Daddy at home, and so we'll see how that goes. So I've got Friday on my day after, but I'm sort of getting things ready, and I'm looking forward to it actually. Well, I feel like we've not seen them for a while, and my younger daughter is in Vietnam for work. She works for a sofa company and has gone out to Vietnam to visit suppliers. So she left Heathrow yesterday at something like 8:30 in the morning, and didn't get to Vietnam until I think it was 1 o'clock our time. So 8 o'clock our time, 1 o'clock our time, but it was something like 8 o'clock in the morning there. There's 7 hours in front of us. And she literally, she said, we WhatsApped her, and she was in Doha, the changeover, and then it was straight to Ho Chi Minh. And she said, I'm going to have to sleep on this plane because we get off the plane and we go straight to a factory because it's Monday morning. And she comes back on Friday, so it is a pretty whistle-stop trip. But she loves travelling. This would be a nightmare for me, but she absolutely loves travelling. So we'll see, and it'll be a huge experience. So we'll see how she gets on. Yeah, little life update. Not much happens around Kitchen Knitting Towers. It's We lead quite a quiet life. It's the children that do all the exciting things. That's lovely though. Thank you for watching, and thank you for subscribing. I think, well, I put up a little video to say thank you, but I've had quite a few new subscribers, an overwhelming amount of new subscribers, and that is absolutely lovely. Thank you so much. And I will get round to answering all the comments. I do read them, and then I try and think about how I'm going to reply, because sometimes when I'm replying I think, oh, it's a bit of a platitude, or I'm saying the same thing to everybody. I try to make it a little bit more individual. Sorry, I've got messages coming down on the screen. Right, I'm going to go now, and I'm going to do our dinner. Thank you again. Bye.